What's up? What's up? This is JUJUAN Buford, and you have to forgive me if I'm a bit winded. Just came back from real strenuous work out here at the gym, but excited to be with you. And what I want to talk about today is a conversation I had with a good friend, fellow entrepreneur that I just started working with approximately a year ago. And we were having a conversation about this person's frustrations due to their lack of progress, right? And I tried to explain to him that, look, you can't compare yourself to others. Everybody comes to entrepreneurship or to any endeavor, quite frankly, with unique skill stacks, experience stacks, talent stacks, skill stack. I already said skill stacks, and a certain amount of time just vested, right? For all those different ingredients to kind of percolate and make who they are possible within a given endeavor, right? And he still didn't get it, right? And I tried to explain that, look, you have to give your business time, but you also have to give yourself time. Because once again, you never know what a person's previous life experience may have exposed them to. And sometimes people come to the game with advantages and disadvantages alike. And so when I realized that really wasn't getting through, this is what I shared. And this is what I would share with most entrepreneurs. Because I'll tell you the other thing too, which is really what's top of mind today, is how social media has messed up entrepreneurship. And look, let me be clear about this. I'm not saying social media is a bad thing. Social media is a beautiful thing. It's actually democratized entrepreneurship, where just about any and everyone who has burning desire or passion or willingness to put into work and a real value prop can have success. So I love that about it. But it's also messed up in the game in the sense that people believe that they can start some type of endeavor and in less than 2 minutes or even less than a year or 3 or 5 years, they can have the success they see other people having. It just doesn't work that way. And I guess an anecdote or a metaphor I would like to use is I told this gentleman, I said, look, I asked him, how long have you been in business? He said, I've been in business a year. And I said, how long do you think I've been in business? He says, well, I know you've been an entrepreneur for about 20 years. I said, well, not quite. Right? I was an investment advisor, which means I was kind of like an independent contractor, but I still had a lot of the benefits associated with being within an infrastructure. I kind of view myself more as an intra-entrepreneur as opposed to an entrepreneur, right? Because there's a difference. And I said, look, I've only really been at this entrepreneurship game in the sense that I have to get it out the mud. I have to wake up every single day. I have to communicate the value prop. And yes, I have affiliate relationships, and yes, I have relationships with other companies that help me augment my value prop. But I really have been just simply waking up every single day and building something from scratch for approximately 7 to 8 years. Now I have intramural experience, which gives me a huge advantage over people who may be doing it straight out the gate. But in terms of being able to pay bills, take care of family, keep a roof over head, all that fun stuff, I've been at it for several plus years, right? And why is that significant? Because I told him, for all intents and purposes, you're a 1-year-old. That's what you are. You are a 1-year-old. I am a 7, 8-year-old, and some would argue maybe a 15-year-old, right? And the bottom line is, you wouldn't expect a 1-year-old to be able to do the things that a teenager would be able to do, that a 15-year-old would be able to do, right? If you want to count it that way, right? It's false expectations. You wouldn't feed a 1-year-old the same thing you would feed a 50-year-old. You're not going to put a big, huge steak in front of a 1-year-old and think they're going to be able to deal with it as quickly, as efficiently as a 50-year-old would, right? And then you have some individuals who've been in business 20 and 30 years. You have individuals that you're competing with who've been in business for 40 years, right? And you would expect that a 40-year-old would move in a certain type of way as opposed to a 1-year-old or even a 15-year-old. At least they should. And that's how I prefer for individuals to think about entrepreneurship, because that's what it is, right? As you age, as you grow older at this game, your skill stacks deepen, your experience stacks deepen, your talent stacks deepen, your knowledge stack, right, deepens. And over the course of time, like a tree, right, the roots are growing down and up at the same time. And we know the deeper the root, as they say, I'm gonna use it a different way, the better the fruit, right? I'll put it that way. But as the roots go deeper, the tree's also going up, and they typically have a converse relationship. but they're very much interrelated. It's the same thing as an entrepreneur. As those skill stacks, knowledge stacks, as those stacks grow deeper and deeper, you grow further and further. And you have to give yourself time for that growth. So if you're 1, 2, 3 years in the game and you're having tremendous success, just imagine how much success you're gonna have when you're a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, 20-year-old, 30-year-old at the game, right? And if you are a 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5-year-old at the game and you haven't quite hit the success that you want, give it a little bit of time, right? As long as you're making progress, right? Year in and year out. So with that being said, I celebrate success in advance as always. Goodbye for now.